Thank you, Chairman Lamborn, and thanks for scheduling today's legislative hearing on the Southeast Arizona Land Exchange and Conservation Act. When I was first elected to Congress a little over 2 years ago, one of the first initiatives the people of Arizona brought to my attention was this land exchange. H.R. 687 facilitates a land exchange that will bring into federal stewardship 5,500 acres of high-priority conservation lands that contain endangered species, sensitive ecosystems, recreational sites, and historical landmarks in exchange for 2,600 acres of federal land in Pinal County, Arizona, containing one of the largest undeveloped copper resources in the world. It is a critical first step in the development of the largest producing mine in North America. The potential economic benefits of this legislation are staggering. Upon passage of the bill, Resolution Copper estimates that it will be able to employ nearly 3,000 workers during a 6-year construction period, and that is just the start. The mine, assuming the company's mine plan of operation, complies with all environmental laws. Let me repeat, it is a requirement explicitly by my bill that they comply with all environmental bills. When they go into full production, they will directly employ another 1,400 people. These are high-paying jobs ranging from $40,000 to $120,000 salaries per year in a region that is struggling economically. As many people familiar with mining communities know, an influx of over 1,000 mining jobs will spur economic development growth in the community. These mine workers need restaurants to eat at, convenience stores to shop at, and homes to live in. A recent economic study estimates an additional 2,300 jobs could be created due to these demands. That brings the estimated total of number of jobs resulting from this legislation to 3,700. Overall, independent analysis estimates the total economic impact of the project will be over $61 billion. That is over $1 billion per year over the life of the mine, which equates to over $19 billion to federal, state, county, and local tax revenues. $19 billion in tax revenues. In these tough fiscal times, I think we could all agree our local governments, and certainly the U.S. Treasury, could use those funds. This legislation has national security implications. The U.S. currently imports 30% of our copper demands, and the demand is skyrocketing. This critical mineral is used in virtually all modern-day technology, ranging from renewable energy and hybrid cars to everyday electronics like cell phones and iPads. Our country must use domestic resources to meet this growing demand, and this project could yield enough copper to meet 25% of our current needs. This legislation is not only a jobs bill, it's a conservation bill. The lands that the federal government acquires in the exchange are highly coveted recreational and conservation areas. It protects one of the few remaining undammed rivers in Arizona, the San Pedro River. The Dripping Springs property is a superb hiking and climbing location. The Cave Creek property will protect a riparian corridor as well as numerous archaeological sites, and nearly 100 acres of private land adjacent to culturally important Apache Leap is placed into the federal stewardship. A few of the witnesses today are going to testify that Congress is rushing consideration of the land project exchange, and that there are many unanswered questions surrounding the project. That could not be further from the truth. Over the past 8 years, this exchange and the potential mine have been subject to intensive review, public consideration, and modification. Today will be the 5th legislative hearing in either the House or the Senate held to examine the specifics of this legislation. This exact language passed the U.S. House with a bipartisan support and was almost signed into law last year. Many of the issues that the detractors of this project will bring up to today's hearing have been addressed in the congressional record at some point. Congresswoman Kirkpatrick and I are committed to addressing the few concerns that have not as we move forward in this legislative process, in particular the concerns about the land that will be conveyed to the town of Superior. But don't be fooled. This land exchange has strong bipartisan support across the state of Arizona. I would like to submit letters of support from the state government delegation of the affected region. Governor Jan Brewer, Democrat State Senator Barb McGuire, Republican State Representatives Frank Pratt and T.J. Shope, and Brenda Barton. I would like you to submit these for the record.
With no objection, so ordered.
Also for the record, a resolution unanimously passed by the bipartisan Pinal County Board of Supervisors and letters of support from the entire bipartisan Gila County Board of Supervisors.
With no objection, so ordered.
2 counties encompass the areas most affected by the exchange. And finally, I have letters from the town of Payson, the mayor of Globe, Terry Wheeler, Superior Councilman John Tamaran, and a resolution of support from the town of Kearney.
See no objection, so ordered.
Each of these officials was elected to their position in some part because of their support for this land exchange. Their constituents, our constituents, want Congress to approve this land exchange. Thank you for the opportunity to testify. I urge my colleagues to support the legislation because I know it will lead to a better future for my constituents and this country. Thank you, sir.